How's it going? Mike Newman here with NaturalBodybuildingRadio.com at the NAMBF USA Super Pro Qualifier. You never know who you're going to run into with these things, but Lane Norton's here, so I figured I'd get a few words in with him. Lane, what's happening?
How you doing, buddy?
Good. You got a couple guys in this show or something?
Yeah, I got 3 people in this show. Got Mike Randall in the novice men's short,
All right.
and Ryan Irwin's in the men's short, and then I have my mind is going, but I have Amy Sedlacek in the figure tall.
So you got Ryan ready. Well, how many people do you generally help get ready for shows? Is that your main force of clientele is bodybuilders? Seems like
I'd say it's probably like 60-40, 60%
Okay.
bodybuilders, and then like another 40% is like athletes, and then kind of weekend warriors who are, I don't have a lot of people ask me if my requirement that they compete to work with me, and I really don't have any requirements other than you be willing to work hard.
Okay.
And just typically bodybuilders are, the hardest workers, so that's who I work with the most. But I'm willing to work with anybody so long as they're just willing to, bust their tail and, follow instructions.
So you'll pre-qualify somebody if they don't come up to your standards and you don't think they have the effort to put forth into it, then you'll just turn them away, huh?
Well, I mean, I usually try to, send them to somebody else or, refer them to somebody who deals, for example, I do believe that you can have 2 people who are good people, a good coach and a good competitor, and they just don't mix well.
Okay.
Depending on personalities and those kind of things. So I do try to get a feel for somebody before I start to work with them. Make sure that it's going to be a relationship that's going to work out well. I think too many people just kind of jump on and take everybody they can.
Absolutely.
And if I'd rather have less clients and be able to give them more attention and have each relationship work better than just have a bunch of clients and have half of them work and half of them kind of not work.
Understandably so.
Because over time, if you have a smaller group of clients but they're all happy, you're going to get more business anyway.
Right.
So
okay.
that's
Well,
kind of my feelings.
I've seen Ryan compete a few times, and today is the best I've seen him look, and I think he's going to do well. Are there any other up-and-comers that aren't competing today that you're training that you think may do well on the next level as a pro or a top amateur?
Yeah, there's a couple. I had 2 guys turn pro a couple weeks ago. One, it was his very first show, turned pro, his very first show at the Cardinal Classic.
Okay.
Greg Bremick.
Right.
And he's just, everything's there. He's got the whole package. He looks like, he's 155 pounds, but he looks like he's 250
And his
pounds.
very first show got his pro card?
Very first show
that
got
never
his
happens.
pro card.
Crazy.
And then I got another guy up in the northwest, Scott Kluth. He won his pro card at a WNBF Pro Qualifier, and then went on to win the NPC Ironman overall at that show.
Right.
Big NPC show. And so he's going to do Worlds now in November, and not many people know about him, but he's got all the tools, symmetry, conditioning's always been kind of his.
Yeah.
We seem like we've got it down, and he's going to get even leaner for the show in November. So I think he could do really well and surprise some people.
Okay. Well, let's change the topic to yourself then. A lot of people want to see you on a pro stage. So when are you going to be coming out on a pro stage?
No date specifically set, but I promised myself I would finish my PhD and be done with that before I started dieting for another show. Last time when I won my pro card, I was doing my PhD, and it really hampered my graduate school research.
I could imagine.
So I've taken 3 years off, and I feel like I've made a lot of improvements. And so next fall of 2010, I'll be doing my first pro shows. I'm not exactly sure which shows yet, but it will be some pro shows in the fall of 2010.
Okay.
Really excited about it. Really looking forward to it. It's even though I've improved, I know a lot of the other guys have improved too.
Right.
So it's going to be a real dogfight. I'm just hoping to go on there and look like I belong and be at my all-time best and see what happens.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm starting to find out now there's a difference between natural shows and drug-tested shows. What's your take on that, and how many guys do you think actually get away and pass these tests in a natural show like this?
There's not a whole lot of incentive to cheat in a natural show unless you're just a complete piece of garbage.
Right.
And I'm sure those people are out there. But I've been involved with natural bodybuilding for a long, long time, and I've really only seen a few people slip by the test that I knew were cheating.
Yeah.
Most people either get caught or they choose to compete. And you have a choice. You can compete in an untested show.
Right.
To me, I don't understand the risk. Even if you don't think you'll get caught, if you get caught, it would be so embarrassing.
Right.
Why would you chance that? And there's just not that much incentive. It's not a whole lot of money. It's not like it's huge exposure. So what's the incentive to possibly get caught and be completely embarrassed? So I don't think there's that many people. Obviously, there's a few people out there.
They get away
but
with
I think for the most part, you come to these shows and you can be pretty sure that most people here are clean.
Yeah, and something like this, something I'd like to add to it. What's the point of doing steroids and coming to a natural show? Even if you win, if you're on the sauce and you win a natural natural show, sure you won the overall, but you did it on steroids and you beat a bunch of natural guys. So what are you going to do about that?
Well, you know, I always say that I firmly believe that if somebody is weak-minded enough to where they're going to cheat in a show like this, it's the same weak-mindedness that I'm going to be able to beat them at some point, because they're not going to work hard on their diet, they're not going to work hard on their training, and they'll probably eventually quit because they're just that weak-minded.
Yes.
And so, you know, my thing I always say is, okay, if you are going to use steroids, then you're probably going to need them. Because you're not going to have anything else going for you if you're a piece of garbage enough to enter a show like this.
Good point.
And take steroids.
Yeah.
So now that said, I mean, I got a lot of respect for guys in the IFBB. I have no problem with guys who choose to go that route and who compete in non-tested shows. That's not who I have a problem with.
Right.
But if you come to a show like this and you're taking stuff and you know you're trying to, I mean, when you have the option that you can go do a different show and not be tested, you're a piece of garbage.
I would say so
You
too.
know?
Okay, so you got a DVD out now, right?
Yes.
Okay, how's that? How are the sales for that coming out for you?
We're pretty much sold out of that DVD. We'll have sold well over 1,000.
I enjoy watching your videos, man. 'Cause I mean, you got that hardcore old school mindset, and that's what I like to see. And you don't find that a lot in natural bodybuilders. You just don't find that very often. Period.
Well,
a lot of guys take it too easy on themselves, but you like to go in there and train like a machine.
You know, one of the things I wanted to show people when I got the video series at bodybuilding.com was, you know, you can be natural and still be hardcore.
Yeah.
You know, you can be natural and still go and throw around some weight. You know, you don't have to be curling the pink dumbbells if you're
No,
natural.
not
And
necessarily
I think a lot of people get this idea because they, you know, read Natural Bodybuilding and Fitness or some other magazines where these guys are curling the 10-pound dumbbells and it's all symmetry and high reps. And no, I mean, I know natural guys who are strong as hell, train, you know, balls to the wall. I know Doug Miller. He did deadlifts with 405 pounds, did it for 27 reps, you know.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know, I've deadlifted 690 pounds before in a powerlifting meet.
Yeah.
I did 405 on squats for 16 reps a couple weeks ago,
Dang.
you know.
Do you squat below parallel?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's all the way.
Yeah.
You
What do
know
you tell
I mean?
guys that think it's bad for your knees? 'Cause I mean, I believe if you're not breaking parallel, you're not squatting. But a lot of guys put on a lot of weight and go a third of the way down. What do you tell guys like that?
Guys who have big egos come up with excuses.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Now, I'm sure there are some things that preclude people from squatting deep, but for the most part, actually deep squats are actually easier on the knees than stopping above parallel because you actually get hip and glute recruitment into the movement, and it actually acts as kind of a spring, and it's actually easier on your knees. So I think a lot of people make excuses because they're hard, you know, just like, oh, I don't deadlift, my back is bad, I don't do this, you know, I have this, you know, I'm sure there's some people out there that is the case, but
you know, for the
most part, you know, I saw somebody posted a video the other day of a guy. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's just, I don't have much time because I've got to keep the video.
Sorry,
in 10
guys,
minutes.
you know I like to talk.
I mean, there's a lot because once you get Lane Norton going on natural bodybuilding, he can go on forever. So we'll have to do another video in the future. But you heard it from him, guys. So if you're going third of the way down, Lane Norton says it's safer on
Get
the
your
knees
ass down.
To break parallel. So keep on watching. And Lane, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Mike. I
And I'll see you
appreciate
in the future. Okay, buddy?
All right, buddy.
Thanks.